Evaluate yourself now, honestly. It doesn't make you a bad person if you can't do this job.
We're going to make sure that they're willing to give 100%, that they realize they can go far beyond where they've ever tested themselves before. Even if you're physically capable, if you don't have the mental drive and the mental strength to get you through these events, you're not going to make it.
The Secret Service was once that band of clandestine people with earpieces so carefully and not always well hidden, the ones for whom dark sunglasses even at night were created, and who worked in and around the shadows as never to be seen or even known to be in existence people. Certainly some of the more public notices in the last few years has changed a little bit of that, and there is a growing desire to understand these men and women, what makes them tick, and how they get along with their charges. The President of the United States, the First Lady, and those in that inner circle. Welcome to MidPoint, veteran journalist, New York Times best-selling author who has written for The Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, and Newsmax. Most recently taking us inside that fraternity with the book, The First Family Detail. Secret Service agents reveal the hidden lives of the presidents. Ron Kessler joins us. Ron, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Ron, when you look back at the history of the Secret Service, the one thing that comes to mind right away is the one catastrophic failure that they had so many years ago, the loss of President John Kennedy. We're decades after that to this point now. How have they learned and what have they done to make sure that the presidents now are the most protected people on the planet, using everything they've learned?
Well, unfortunately, they haven't learned a lot. The agents are very brave and dedicated. They'll take a bullet for the president. But the Secret Service management has this culture of cutting corners and laxness that really does threaten the life of the president, according to the agents I talked to. Interestingly, the reason that JFK was assassinated was that he refused to let agents on the rear running board of his limousine. If they had been there after the first shot, which was not fatal, they would have jumped on him and saved his life. So that's one of the problems and obstacles that the Secret Service has to deal with, these presidents who think that they are going to live forever. But in my book, The First Family Detail, I give a lot of examples of the corner cutting. For example, when White House staffs or campaign staffs pressure the Secret Service, they'll let people into events without magnetometer or metal detection screening. It's just like letting passengers into an airliner without screening. Another example was when Bradley Cooper went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner where Obama was about to speak. A high-ranking Secret Service official ordered agents at the Washington Hilton to let Bradley Cooper and his SUV into the secure area in front of the Washington Hilton, where only Secret Service cars were allowed, and even they had to be screened for explosives. So someone could have introduced explosives into Bradley Cooper's SUV and taken out the president. You can imagine the impact this had on the agents. It says, you know, we don't really care about security, and it leads to the problems we've seen more publicly with the Columbia prostitution scandal, which I broke, and also the fact that the Salahis were allowed into the White House as party crashers for the state dinner.
Ron, is it more difficult protecting this president, President Obama, than it has been presidents in recent years or recent administrations?
There was a big spike in threats against Obama before he took office and just after he took office. There was a 400% increase compared with when Bush was in office. And that was mainly from pure racist, on supremacist websites, not connected with any political party, not Tea Party. But since then, it's leveled off. Of course, the threats are rarely the actual assassinations. The real assassinations usually come without any warning.
There's a book out by Ed Klein where he talks a little bit about a blood feud. He claims that Michelle Obama and Valerie Jarrett are the ones who really run the White House. Did you get a sense of that? And I don't know why, but I wouldn't be that surprised, actually, if in many cases the First Ladies actually did run the White House.
Well, Michelle Obama certainly has a big impact, just as Laura Bush had a big impact on George Bush. But in the end, you know, presidents really make their own decisions, whether they're good or bad. There's always some desire to blame it on some advisor, but in the end, you know, what Obama does as president, I think, mirrors what he did before he became president. And everyone ignored that. They ignored the fact that he listened to Reverend Wright for 20 years, who said that America is basically a bad country. I think we voters got what we didn't bargain for. But I think the other important thing to look at besides track record is character, and that's what this book, The First Family Detail, brings out. Because in the end, character matters. For example, with Richard Nixon, you had the ethics issue involving the checker speech, and sure enough, we got Watergate. When it comes to people or candidates who act in a nasty way towards their own agents, that's something that we should pay attention to. When we look at Jimmy Carter, who was a total phony, pretended to be a jolly peanut farmer populist, but actually behind the scenes he would tell his agents he didn't want them to talk to him, didn't want them to say hello to him in the morning, would pretend to carry his own luggage in front of the cameras, but actually when the cameras were gone, he would give the luggage to aides to carry, or the luggage was empty in the first place. So we're almost fools for believing these images that these politicians create for themselves. And in the end, we suffer when we get disastrous presidents.
Ron, I only got about 45 seconds left. What do the agents think about our current president, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama? They like him?
They do like him. Michelle and Barack Obama treat their agents decently with consideration, and that's certainly a good sign. On the other hand, agents are dismayed to find that, and over here, Michelle Obama urged her husband to be more aggressive in attacking Republicans and in siding with blacks in racial controversies. And of course, we saw that with the black Harvard professor in Cambridge who got in trouble with the police in Cambridge. We now see that with Barack Obama siding with the black teenager who was shot in Missouri without knowing any of the facts whatsoever. If a white president did that in reverse, there would be total outrage throughout the country, and rightly so. And we should be outraged at this prejudgment based solely on skin color.
That and so much more in the book. It is The First Family Detail. Secret Service agents reveal the hidden lives of the presidents. Ron, I wish we had a couple of hours to do all this. Thanks so much for the time. Hope we talk to you again. Good luck with the book.
Thank you so much.
All right, stick around because MidPoint continues, where every day we question everything.